Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of SnowFool here in Cities Skylines, where the last episode we built our first universities, providing the higher education needed for these peeps to be smart, get good jobs, make good cash money moolah, and pay us more taxes so we can fund future expansions. Guys, welcome back to another episode. Today is going to be an interesting one. Now, I wanted to build the IT cluster, but with the fact that a lot of our commercial is still complaining about there's not enough educated peeps right now, it's going to happen to our IT cluster. We need the high educated peeps for that. I do need to place down more schools. We've got a brand new university. I feel like we need to give it a little bit of time for all the residents to get a little bit more smart, a little bit more educated, before I can start building those levels of kind of zoning. So, today, we are going to tackle the slight cargo issue that we do have. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you a little bit of a recap right now. We currently had a couple of issues with our industry, and I don't know why it's happening. Well, I kind of understand why it's happening, but I feel like I don't know why it's happening in this city, because we have all connections. Normally, when I build a city that's isolated from outside connections, you have a really strong tendency to supply your normal industry with zoned goods, like the oil, the farming, the forestry, and the ore. Now, you don't really tend... I mean, you get it all the time anyway, but you don't tend to get it as bad as I've been getting it when you have a city that does have road connections, train connections, shipping connections, plane connections to outside of the region. But for some reason I am having it. Now, I can only put it down to the fact that I don't have enough, obviously, cargo import and export points dotted around. And the fact that the industry is so close to the port right now becomes a slight issue. So, basically, what happens is my industry complains that it needs the goods. I then have subconsciously then placed in a bunch of warehouses to have these own goods. And then they're fine, no one can complain, which is perfect. But the problem I've got is, when these empty and they need to be replenished, we have a horde of ships come in, a horde of vehicles drive to them, drop the goods off, and the horde of vehicles then drive back. And yeah, it's annoying is an understatement, to say the least. But secretly, the game implemented these brand new warehouses and told nobody about them. These ones here, the warehouse with a railway connection. How amazing does that sound right now? I can now have trains coming in. Because my problem right now is I've got 2 export points here, there and there, which is via shipping. One's getting to a train line. I then have another export point over here, connected to a train line. I have another export point over here, connected to a train line. And you'll probably think, with these dotted around each side of the city, that will give us great coverage. But I'm starting to think, right, vehicles don't want to use these. I know. They would much rather, as soon as the ship gets here, drive them back. Which I understand, because that is the closest point to one of these. The only train line I do have is this one over here. And it's the only one where I see vehicles going in. Apart from maybe this one. And this one. They rarely use this one. But then again, I've got to build the industry more over here. And I'm surprised of how little they use this, you know, considering it's so close to a lot of commercial. But it's okay. We can push past that, because for the first time ever, I'm going to use these train line warehouses, which is going to be really exciting. So, where were we going to put them? I feel like I need to slightly reconfigure my warehouses in general, but to be honest with you, I might get rid of them because I can replace them with the train line ones. Now, I'm thinking about building my first one just here, only because it's slightly out of the way, and it will give me a greater understanding of how these train line warehouses works before I can implement them further around within the city. So let's have a little bit of a zoom in then. Let's try and implement them here. Now, I don't know how they connect to a road. They connect via the side. So however I build this, I've got to have that pretty much in mind. So my raw road here, let me drag this out. This will kind of continue down in its normal fashion anyway. And then we got to try and build these up. Now, ideally, I want 4 of them in. But they are quite, I wouldn't say large, wide, big, huge. But they can be quite subsizable. Now, we do get a little bit wider as we go down. So I feel like we might have to kind of slightly stagger all of this. So let me first figure out then, am I going to be building another one of these here? I think the answer might be yes. So that there is a space of a 10. So if I go up to there, and then another 10, which is just there, and then go up. I've got room there to place in a couple more snow dumps, which will be quite important. I always forget where the snow dumps are, but they're here. So we'll do... Oh, hang on, I got a wind turbine slightly in the way. You fool! You damn fool! Right, there we go. So place you there, and then place you there. So just give us a little bit of extra coverage when it does snow. I've got these in. I can fix them out and spread them out a little bit better, but just trying to figure out where my space is going to be. Right then, so for my first warehouse then, I reckon I'll place just here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to try and pretty much create like a train yard, because they kind of come out and you've got to bend them in, which can be quite annoying. But then again, I could always flip them around to face in the opposite way, but I do like the idea of having a train yard. So if I was to place another one down, I could flip it around the other way, but they will kind of poke out that way. They've all pretty much got to be connected up. So if I came out, so that down to there. So if I picked a random spot, let's just say here, and I came out by a 12 and then ran this down, I wonder if that's enough to kind of create the bend going out. So if I did that, and then how would this look? I think, to be honest with you guys, this is not going to work out the way I'm kind of hoping it will. I feel like I've got to flip it round would be the best bet to kind of get this all up and running. So if I bring a road down here instead, and I'm going to delete you, delete you, delete you, and with the beautiful connection tool, we shall then create said connection, said bend, a slight wiggle as it leads up this way, for us to then create a bunch of connections. Yes. So I can get a load going along this way. So for example, if I put this one here, you can then see a train line going out that way. It's so easy to then connect, but you are limited to how many you can legit get in. That's the problem, because of how awkward it is. I'd rather the road connection be at the end and it goes straight out, so I could just do like a huge stacked line of them. But that's not how it works, Seniac. That's not how it works. So suck it up, you noob. Suck it up right now. So we'll bring that down and we'll create something quite fun. We'll create. Now, can I stack them right next to each other like that? Yes, I have the ability to do that. Now, I wonder if I should then maybe flip them around, but you got to be careful about how much road you're kind of putting into it. So let me connect the train line up. This is all trial and error. I've never used these before, so you know how this is now looking is my first time doing it. So do I then put a couple on that side and bring the train lines around this way? I think could be a good idea. It could be a good idea, but I need a little bit of space. So going down to here for a minute, if I did a 9. So if I come down by a 6 and then run this up. Right, we'll do a 50 marker there. So hold on a minute, because I'm going to redo all this. This is just trial and error at the moment, okay? It's just trial and error. So if I move you back to over here and put you right on the edge. Move you, put you right on the edge as well. Build 2 more, and then do the same with this. Put you right on the edge, so you there. Then we have a 2 gap, and then you there. So what I want to try and implement is a loop back round. That's what I want to try and implement. Whether or not that's going to work is a completely different story. So, right, let me figure this out. Let me figure this out right now. So if I can manage to get a run there. I'm gonna double it up for now, just so I can get my marker points. So if I went for there and there, which is pretty much as even as you're gonna get, but this needs to kind of skew-if itself out. So if I run up with a 10 by 10 is a little bit too much for us, so we'll run this up a little bit further. We'll go to a 5. Go to a 5. And then we'll bend you. We'll do a 5 by 5. Now, if I did this, it's a very, very tight bend. A train is not going to like that. A train is not going to like that. So if I delete at that point there, and if I come away from this side, and then where does this meet? That is then also a 5 by 5. I'm not feeling it, to be honest with you. I'll be real. I'm not feeling this. I like the idea of it, but it's going to be such a tight squeeze to skedaddle the trains in and out. And plus, they're only going to be able to go in one direction as well. Well, they can go in both directions. It's just they've got to do like a big loop to get in and out. Am I just overcomplicating this? The short answer is yes. I really am overcomplicating this. So I reckon we delete these. Right, delete those. Get my my road network again. So that was a 6. So if I go 12, 13, 14, 15. So that gives us then a 15 gap space to then squeeze these puppies back in again. So you there. And then you there. Now, these are on the inside, so they're a little bit closer together. And then maybe we can utilize the train line skedoodle in. So delete this as well, so I'll make this kind of funnel down and connect in. But this will be the better way to do it, I think. He thinks, he says. He thinks. This is Seniac right now. He never thinks. So if I did that, and then also did this. Now, some of these train lines will be a bit dormant. Like, some won't like actually be usable. And then if I bring... We should use the parallel tool for this. If I went from there up to here, flip that round, and then went to a plus 20. Yeah, we'll go for a plus 20. Like that. And then connect you all in. So it's almost like we're creating like a little bit of a train yard, isn't it? Well, that's what it seems to be like. Right, bring you down to here. I'm just going to bring it to there because I want to be able to first run all this in. Alright, bring that up a little bit. And then bring you into that one there. Oh no, because that's so close, I can't do it just there, just yet. I forgot because that one's so close. Right, bring you up. And in, like that. And then we kind of need to merge these in and down as well, which would be quite fun. So I reckon I'm going to delete here, 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 here. And then we're going to try and bring that line straight in. And then we'll get all the other ones to match. That's what we'll do. Or that's at least what we'll try and do. So like that. And then we'll do that. But obviously we'll try and apply some bends. So that will all run down. We'll kind of create this as an overpass, is what we'll do. We'll delete you back to there, where a 21 almost takes place here. So then we'll bring you further back. Like that. And then we're going to lead this down to here to bend in. Now, them train tracks there are not going to be used. They're just for aesthetics. It's just there for the aesthetics. No, that's not going to work out. So if I bring you down and then in. It kind of feels like an actual train yard at this point then, doesn't it? Alright, select you, You. See? Looks like a proper train yard now, doesn't it, guys? Right, gotta sort this out. Gotta sort out all the power out. And I've just gotta make this road kind of bend. We'll bring it from this one. Bend off. I might move that further down and kind of have this road just kind of swoop up and bend in. So it's a lot more painful than you expect. This is a lot more painful than you expect to do it. So we're gonna elevate you. And would I elevate you as well? Just kind of keep it on the safe side? I think so. We'll try and do some gradients right now. I don't know how much gradient you're going to get out of this. Yeah, not really much, to be honest with you. Not really much. And then... is that the road node? I believe so. Mate. Raise this slightly up a bit. And then the terraforming will create these nice little sharp edges. And it shall be glorious. So they can technically come from this direction. It just means that they'll have to then go around the whole loop to come back in. So obviously it's not the best idea. But the aim of it is to kind of bring it on via ships and in. And then they can just drive the rest. But we're going to drop a couple of other stations here by everywhere. So... it shouldn't be too bad. So, we're going to give it water and power, obviously. Now, can I get both of them on the one? And then we're going to need some power. Now, I don't know how much power they're going to utilize, so I'm also going to drop another wind turbine. And we'll throw it in just here. Very good. Now, we'll make them store of the each... of the unique zoned products. So forestry. So that should be forestry, farming, and then we've got ore, and then we've got oil. Very good. Very good. Now, is there like a double node here? No. I thought there was like a weird double node then for a second. Anyway, bend that slightly out, crooked it. So we shouldn't really have any train traffic issues. We shouldn't really have any. It's a very simple kind of little system here, so there shouldn't be too much drama going on. Right, let me just quickly smooth some of this out then. So you're going to get some rough edges here, there and everywhere, but that's part of the charm of the area. And I might add in a couple of extra lines or two here, just for the sake of building up a train yard. So what I could do is run that out like this. Have a few little lines that kind of go in a different direction. This is purely for the aesthetics. That's purely all it is. Hilarious, mate. Ha 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 ha. Right, we're going to move this, by the way. So we're going to get another road over here. And then run you up. And then we'll put this on this side. Very good. And then, because we're not actually technically connected to that road, so it hasn't really got a bend. The bend can start from there, but I don't know whether to do a connection tool for this and then just get it all connected. Because you get something, not funky, but that's what they want to build by default. Nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there's a lot better we could do. So I think we'll do some of it manually. Yes, if I went for a 10 by 10 bend and then use the connection tool, I think that's what we're kind of slightly missing, because you can get like a little bit of a wiggle on the go now, like that. So there's something a bit different. It's just a little bit fun, isn't it? A little bit fun. Get a few trees in. few little trees in. I think we'll be happy with that, boys. We shall be happy with that. So it'll take some time before we start seeing, like, you know, and them utilizing it fully. But it's an interesting one, yeah. I feel, I mean, I don't really know what the best approach is for all of this just yet. But I feel like that's quite a cool little addition. It's completely slightly out there, but it's pretty cool none the least. We'll take it. We'll take it. I could put another cargo station just here, like flipped it around over a road. Have a separate line that kind of turns in and out for it. So if they did want to come this way, they could drop it off and then drive it in. But we'll see what happens. That'll take some time for it to see it all come together. Now, what I think we should also do is get rid of the warehouses within this vicinity. So we've got some ore storage there. We've got some metals. We've got some glass. Oh, sorry, this is for the that industry there. I'm on about the warehouses here. And then pretty much move them over to those ones. That's where we'll then store them. There's already vehicles on the way right now. I'm going to assume they are now taking the goods to the, yes, to the warehouses. So that will utilize more of the train network. It's a straight road to go all the way through. Almost. And then we got these ones down here, which I might then build another train yard down here as well. I'm hoping that this is the way to go forward. I'm hoping it is anyway. So we lose that on the zoning. Now just here. We could have put something there, but I'm... you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna build it just here. Back in. And then we'll see what happens. I still want to save this area here for the IT cluster. I still want to save it. So once I see trains coming in and out, then I'll be quite happy. My only, like I said, my only issue is the fact I got to do a big loop around to get into here because we have no access from this side. But other than that, I mean, they could also... Oh no, they can't really go down there. Yeah, they are going to have to take part in the big loop. But we'll see what happens. But there we go. Our first train is now coming in. So where did this train actually come from? So it came from the cargo hub, which is over here. Oh, perfect. Right, this is working it how exactly as I wanted it. Right. Now, I still feel like we need the odd little cargo train station dotted here, there, and everywhere. I still feel like we need that. And we could do one within this radius. Because at the moment, they all drive down to here. So having one nearby would be pretty good. The train lines themselves, there's a train line there. I could bring that up, V it, and then hook up something over here. But it all depends on how this road network here is going to go. Now, we could connect to this, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do an underpass here. So that is your 10, and that becomes your 11. So 10, and we're going to create a little tunnel here. So bam, bam, bam. So that's our underpass there to reach both sides of this industrial area to free up any chaos that does ensue within this vicinity. Very good, very good. Which that road will bend and then connect into that, which will complete my complete through road from this area in the warehouses. Now, come to here, but at that point there's not really much industry that you can kind of continue to skedoodle on. So from this then, we're looking at then a 30. And then that's an 11. So what we're looking at here then is, what is it, like an 11 by 11? 11, yeah, 11 by 11. Okay, that works. But we also do want a road to overpass as well. And here too, just to kind of create, again, more connectivity and frees up our 4-lane roads and the big junctions on the highway. But it all depends on where the rest of the road is now going to run. Now, this could go down to here, but would that cause more issues than it solves? So 37. So you're looking at a 26. And we'll bring that just to here. So I could just literally keep that as the sole connection. Because it might cause too many issues with this, having that connection there, and then the short distance. Because you can already see we're going to have issues here anyway with that one. Yeah. Right, out of these two roads, I think we're going to use this one. And we've got this one. Have we done any of the bridges going across as like a slight bend? Ah, yeah, this one. Because I feel like that's what we're going to have to do here. Right, anyway, running this up, which means we then have an awkward gap there, but we could run it this way. Alright, that there. Let me just quickly delete this. So that goes there. You got that awkward little spot in the middle, which we could keep that because we could build like a little plaza. You got to remember, there's not going to be much traffic in this area because this is going to be where we have our IT cluster. So if that could bend round to there, we'd still need a separate one. No. That's a 40. Okay, if I go here, 4x4 bend to go straight down. That can lead in. That then is way too close, but is it worth it kind of bringing it up to bend it up to go round to connect it? Again, could be an interesting concept here. So if I raised you slightly up like this, I think it's too much. A 10x10 is too much. So we'll go with a 6. Actually, I feel like we need to stick out first by 4. And then we'll do a 6x6. And then raise that up. And then that can be my connection to over here. So if I bring... I think I can do a full 10 going out. So we'll do a 10 up by 2. And then I think that would be quite cool as the overpass. Now, obviously, I don't want it to be like a full bend like that. I want to have... Oh, what did I press then? Right, let's try that again. I think having that as a 90-degree bend doesn't really work. So 5, 6 by 6. So it's not a 90-degree bend no more. And I don't really want too much of a bend. I want to have the straight bit on it. So add you in. Gotta elevate it, obviously. That works quite good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then we've got... so I've got two options. I can either do this road here or this one. Now, this one's straight down to there, so it makes more of a sense as a float, like a through road. So, let's get you. Right, here I can do the 12. So we'll just bring it up to a 2 to begin with. And then obviously 10, and then... Because we've got to adjust the heights anyway. No point making them go too crazy. Right, like I said, I don't want too much of a bend. That would be probably there. So I want a straight bit on it because I don't want it to feel too unnatural as a huge, ridiculous bend going on. So select the 2 nodes nearby. Right, select you. It's just got to be above it. It hasn't got to be anything like mental. It's just got to be slightly above it. And then with the alignments, beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, it hasn't got anything too crazy. I like how that bends. It adds a little bit of character to the area. Pretty sweet. So pause a minute, because I have deleted the power lines. So I've now got to connect back over. I don't know if it actually all goes through. No, we still have to connect it. Right, anywho. So it opens up this area right now. We're going to build our little IT cluster. But the whole purpose of that is to see if we can have the ability to add in some cargo. Now, I still could. Still could. Am I wanting to? It's a tough one, isn't it? It is a tough one. Vehicles all skedoodling around right now. Trains coming in and out, so we are loading up nearby. Before I build a cargo figure here, I want to see how this changes things. Because the fact that we can bring trains over right now means there's less vehicles about. But the other side of it is, if I had a train here, they'll just then train to there, and then loads of vehicles are scattered there, and they'll all try and funnel back to here. So having it slightly outside of the industry radius might be the way forward. We'll see. We shall see. I just want to do one of two more things. Upgrade you to elevated. We'll stick these higher. When we come to build the IT cluster, we'll sort these little elevations out a little bit better as well. Should be pretty sweet. Now, down here, you kind of want the same thing. You kind of want the same thing with the train line. Have a little cargo area. But of course, we're going to have the same issue. Now, I could build it all here, or even here, and lead it all into this, which means it comes directly from the cargo hub. But no matter how you kind of set it up or do it, it feels like it's going to be a one direction only. It kind of needs to be like an end station, doesn't it? That's how it's like an end of a route kind of vibe you have to kind of create. And I could create that here. It does really, really work well down here. So if I brought you out by... We've done a 30 there, haven't we? Yeah, I can go for another 30 just here. And that would work. These would work perfect like this. But you lose out quite a bit. But at the same time, these would work perfect here. These would work perfect here. Alright, down to there. So if I added those ones, I can do one there, one there. I can do one there, and lead it all down into a train line here. Right, okay. It's just an idea right now, okay? It's just an idea. If I put it there, to put it there. Put it there, to put it... Ah, it can't because the way the train has to run leading out. But then that one can go here. No. I think we should flip it and do them coming down this way. That will possibly be the better idea. So if I do a 10 to lead you up, which would end just there, which is completely fine. Completely fine. So we kind of want to create... Where's it gone? Something very similar to that, but obviously leading down the opposite way. So if I stuck this out by the 20, which keeps to our 30 kind of marker, and then just bring this down to there, but don't really add anything on. Now, we are dealing with heights. I'll leave the heights for a little bit later. But I could place one in there, which works out. But of course you're going to pull it in this way, but with no road there. So actually, this might work out fairly well for us in the regards of I don't need to go all the way down to that bit. So what was the space I did there? It was a 15. Okay, I don't need to go back. I remember it being a 15. But can I get away with a 10? Right, I gotta look again. So if it was a 10... Oh no, you're cutting it close to the train line. It's got to be around about a 15-ish. Yeah. So 15. I'll just run that down there for now. Because you're having warehouses here. And you're having warehouses here. That's how it's working. That's how it pretty much works. Also, why have I put that right against the end? They can literally touch one another. It's completely fine. There we go. Now, I'll sort out all the elevation change at a later date. And by a later date, I mean right now. And we'll make them all the same object height to... Let's just go here. So it does sink it down a bit, but I can sort all that out. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. I'll at least sort out here anyway, because this way we're going to have some train lines. Actually, do you know what? I need to sort all the elevation changes out. So, cut slightly into the mountain. There we go. Then we'll smoothen it. We'll pause the smoothing, by the way, while we do this. And we'll create a much harsher drop on the said mountain. Right, we're going to have to do this again anyway in a minute. Because I've got to implement the train lines. Ooh, it's quite harsh, isn't it? It's quite harsh. It's quite cool that it's going to end as a peninsula of trains. I like this. I like this a lot. So, we're going to run from here going down. We're going to run from here going down. So, it's almost going to be a mimic of what we've just got in. It's borderline almost going to be a mimic of what we just got in. Actually, seeing all this now makes me realise how we should have pushed this back. Oh, no, what am I doing? And then we'll do it after we've done all the train lines. Alright, we'll get this one here. Where you connect in. You connect in. Okay. To where we'll then have, deleting you, a 10 by 10. How does this work here? Because if I had this run to here, 6 by 6, but it would mean this bend here would be a lot harsher. Right, the bend will have to take pace back a little bit further. I mean, it can still, that could still work, but it's not great. We should have started with the shortest one first. So bringing this back down to here, we should have started with the shortest one first, which would have been this one. So for this, if I do a 7 by 7, no, we'll do an 8 by 8. 8 by 8. And then from here, it becomes a 10 by 10. And then from here, so if I do a 14, that's your 10 by 10. Then we're going to merge all these in anyway. But again, it simulates us having a train line. Or having a train yard, I mean. So I just think a little bit cool. Now this, we have to do something with. And how we get it to connect. But also we've got to figure out how we're doing the connection here. Now I could bring it from here, which is not a problem. But the problem with that being is, I'm then forcing all the trains to go through it. We do have underground here the ability to do a little V that pops up. But it's so close to this V, be a bit difficult. I could do a V here. And lead us all in. But it depends on how far we're going to run it in anyway. So if this, because it's all got to merge into one train line eventually. So if I just went to here with this runs to there and then cuts in. Actually, no. This can run to here and then cut in. This can run to there and then cut in. Voila! This is interesting. Considering that this is the first time I've worked with this, I don't think it's too bad. It could be better. I don't think I agree with this, though. If I was to do that, you would need it to happen, like, here. Like in a more believable aspect, like that. For the angle of the train to lead into it. Obviously, they can't use it, but it's their decorative purposes only. So I've got this road train line coming in now. I could V it here. Because then you can still get on the train, the thingy there, bring it down to go back in. I don't want to cause too much pressure on that one junction because we've got nothing really connecting at all in this area. I feel like this might be the better way. So if I went up there, underground, which means I can get a 21... 20-ish, it'll be fine. And then 20 by 20-ish on the bend, and it's got to lead into this. So this, if I just ran this to there, bam. Obviously, we've got to sink it all down, so I'll quickly pause. And select all of view. Obviously, drop it down to where we can't see it. Now, even though if you get to a boat here and the train's got to go a long way round, I'd rather put the junction there than pull it here and cause pressure coming in and out. So all of a sudden, this one over here, you can enter from both ends. Well, you can go both directions. You come this way, that way, whatever. This one's a little bit more difficult, but yeah. I'm quite happy about this as they're turning out. Obviously, it might not be perfect, but it's interesting. If I was the developers of this game, right, I wouldn't have built these how they've built them, right? And I'll explain in just a moment. Right, one second. Let me just get all this in. So I would have put the entrance here. Or here, so they drive this way down and like jazz. And I would have put the train entry going straight. Because it would have been a lot easier to kind of build with it. But I ain't going to complain. Okay, I'm not going to complain. Even though I'm low-key complaining right now. I am low-key complaining, aren't I? Right, Sediak, shut up right now. I gotta sort this out. There is a slight issue with this here. I'm not sure what's going on. What's going on with the trains here? Should I replace this back down? It's doing it on both of them, isn't it? Right, you've got to replace them back down. It's doing some shenanigans, isn't it? It's doing some shenanigans. Right, there we go. We're rolling. Now, granted, I got to sort this road out here. I might... Do I turn it into a tunnel? Or do I elevate it up and over? I reckon we elevate it just for the funsies. Or do I bring it down? If I went to there with that, the entry is just there. And that's what makes it so difficult. Right, how far can I put this? Okay, we're technically connected there. So rather than doing a bend, I've got to then do a 90 degree. It doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work. So it is a case where I'm going to have to come out, or to the end of the building just here. Tunnel it at that point. And then we'll do a 5 by 5, 5 by 5, 5 by 5. Does that work? Weirdly, yes. Yes, it does. Is it right, and should I do it? Honestly, probably not. Probably not. Am I going to leave it there for now? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Right. Leave it as it is. We've told it what it needs to be. It's got water and it's got power. So, we'll just then see what happens from it. But it's a pretty cool way to end it, really, isn't it? It's a pretty cool way to end it. And I could sort out one-way systems if needs be. But also, what's wrong with you right now? Oh, it's too few services. I can now get rid of these. These can now go. As you've got these nearby. So very interesting. We'll see in the long run what this does for us. Because when ships now come in, they can be thrown straight into a train and not a single vehicle has to appear until it drives out to go in its direction and its destination. So we do need some more services over here, so we'll quickly add these in. We'll add a... are we treating this as a little bit of a dead end here, are we? We'll kind of place them just here, is what we'll do. So, beautiful little... well, we'll do a small one anyway. We'll do a small little policing station just there. Fire station and a small little police station just here. Provides basic services anyway, at least. It provides the basics. So let's see if they enjoy that. Right, let's have a little fast forward then, because I want to start seeing this working. Vehicles are already on the way over right now, so they're going to be storing the goods. You just got to wait for the trains to come in. Now, they've all stopped complaining over here about educated workers. What are the education levels like? So, we do need to add some more elementary schools in. That's a given. 40% highly educated. Right, I think we're going to be ready for the IT cluster in the next episode. Well, that's worked out fairly well. Now, we might start seeing this utilised a little bit more as well. As this is now quite close to a storage area. I've got to sort this roundabout out as well. I mean, I've got to sort out the slip roads to it. But until then, at least the roundabout's sorted properly. And we'll see how it goes. We're just waiting for trains. Oh, there we go. Trains coming in and out. This is glorious. Trains are coming in and out, boys. Trains are coming in and out. And it's starting to snow as well. Right, that's glorious then. So the only downside to this one over here, like I said, is they can only come from one direction. So hopefully it's not too much of a hassle for them. And I do need to sort out all the terraforming over here as well. So let me push this back a bit further. Just make my life a little bit easier when it comes to smoothing it all now. Right, we get close in some areas and not in some areas just to make it, again, more realistic. And we'll go with that. We'll go with that, boys. We'll go with that. Right, not too bad. Not too shabby. Now, I still don't know how I feel about this being so closely connected to that. I mean, I could switch it to this road and in. I don't know. Again, we're seeing how it goes. If it gets a little bit crazy, I'll change it. But, man, SnowFool is coming together, isn't it, guys? It really is coming together. It really is. We'll see how long it lasts before it all kind of burns to the ground. Lots of vehicles passing over here right now, so, you know, there are less vehicles utilising these areas. which is really important for the main roads because we have the trams on that. That's my biggest issue with the trams, is that the trams could quite easily cause traffic issues. So keeping them off and away from it is a big help. Right. Only time will now tell, guys, if those warehouses are doing the job that we require. Only time will tell if they're doing the job we require. Okay. You all got goods? Not many goods, but you gotta have some goods, aren't you? Right, they're all... I mean, this is the problem as well. They've all got to wait their turn, but there should be no jams. It just should be a case of they just wait their turn. Which, look, yeah, perfectly well. Worked out perfectly fine. So there will be increased traffic at the moment while we do fill the warehouses. But then it should die down to normal levels. Right. IT cluster next episode. This is going to be exciting. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this. If you did, smash that like button down below. And until next time, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.